Hi there, you're watching Nightline with me, Muhammed and Hamdan, and here are the top stories. Investigation reveals faulty wiring linked to Tin's electrocution on express bus. And government to roll out next generation of MyKad soon. Good morning. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim has described his recent visits to Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Peru and Brazil as a step towards restoring Malaysia's prominence on the global stage. He stated that the 11-day tour also highlights Malaysia's confident yet humble stride forward.
Anwar safely returned to Malaysia on Wednesday after completing his back-to-back working visits to the four countries, which began on November 9th. The aircraft carrying Anwar and his delegation landed at Complex Bunga Raya Kuala Lumpur International Airport (KLIA) at about 11:40 a.m. In his social media postings following his return, Anwar said the visits, which included official invitations and discussions with leaders from 19 countries, were fully utilized to strengthen ties and explore significant investment opportunities for Malaysia. The focus was also to enhance global partnerships and open new opportunities to boost the prosperity of the nation and its people, as well as bring tangible benefits to the ASEAN community amid the uncertainties of the global geopolitical landscape. Anwar added that the most meaningful outcome was not just the agreements signed, but the spirit of collaboration and the respect for Malaysia as a nation dedicated to humanity, justice, excellence, and inclusivity. During his four-nation trip, Anwar also engaged with world leaders and reiterated Malaysia's commitment to driving sustainable growth, particularly as Malaysia prepares to chair ASEAN in 2025.
Improper wiring was to blame for the death of an 18-year-old teenage boy who was electrocuted while charging his phone on an express bus early this month. Transport Minister Anthony Loke said that a special task force investigating the incident found that the wires connecting to the power distribution box to the socket had been installed in reverse.
In a press conference at the Parliament lobby on Wednesday, Loke revealed that the high voltage passing through the socket caused the fatal electric current to flow through the victim's body, leading to the tragic incident.
Samping itu, penggunaan kelengkapan elektrik yang digunakan dalam bas tersebut juga tidak memenuhi standard piawaian barangan yang ditetapkan. Pemasangan pendawaian elektrik bas juga dilakukan oleh pihak yang tidak bertauliah oleh Suruhanjaya Tenaga.
The Land Public Transport Agency (APAT) has also identified another bus operated by the same company with similar electrical wiring issues. It consequently issued a suspension notice, temporarily halting the operations of the bus pending further investigation. In response to the incident, APAT also issued an immediate ban on the use of 3-pin sockets and USB charging ports in all express buses effective November 6. Loke added that this prohibition will remain until his ministry establishes new policies and guidelines for additional wiring, which is expected to be completed within 6 months. On November 1st, Muhammad Nur Ashmawi Jasmadi was electrocuted while charging his phone shortly after boarding an express bus at the Penang Central Bus Terminal in Butterworth.
Meanwhile, the Transport Ministry MOT through the Road Transport Department JPJ plans to introduce a notification feature on the MyJPJ app to alert users about the expiration date of their motor vehicle license (LKM). Loke told the Dewan Rakyat on Wednesday that the notification function would be made available to the public once it is developed and ready for use.
Cadangan penambahbaikan bagi mewujudkan fungsi notifikasi pemakluman Tarikh tamat tempoh LKM adalah antara yang telah direncanakan di dalam agenda pendigitalisan JPJ.
Lok also reiterated that the MOT's digitalization efforts within JPJ would continue, with further improvements to the MyJPJ app to be introduced in phases based on priorities and available funding. He said this following the ministry's implementation of the digital road tax system, which eliminated the need for physical road tax stickers to be displayed on privately owned vehicles. However, Lok acknowledged that his ministry had also received complaints from some members of the public who still prefer to use physical driving licenses and road tax stickers. Therefore, his ministry will introduce an initiative next year, allowing individuals to print physical driving license and road tax stickers for a fee, the amount of which will be announced later.
Now, the government will soon introduce a new generation of MyKad to replace the current version, which has been in use since 2012. Deputy Home Minister Datuk Sri Syamsul Anwar Nasarah informed the Dewan Rakyat on Wednesday that the National Registration Department, NRD, is in the final phase of procuring newly structured identity card.
According to Shamsul, the updated MyKad aims to incorporate advanced features that enhance safety and align with the latest technological security developments.
Selari dengan perkembangan teknologi keselamatan terkini, serta bagi membendung sebarang insiden dan percubaan untuk memasuk dan menyalahguna kad pengenalan yang menjadi dokumen pengenalan penting dan utama bagi Malaysia.
He added that the new generation MyKad is also made from durable polycarbonate material, which has been tested in accredited laboratories. Regarding costs, Shamsul said that the NRD is conducting a market study to ensure the new MyKad adheres to the principle of best value for money. This effort aims to keep production costs manageable for the government while ensuring optimal resource use in line with official guidelines.
The Kuala Lumpur Sessions Court has acquitted and discharged the late Tun Daim Zainuddin from the charge of failing to comply with the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission MACC notice by not declaring his assets. The acquittal order was made on Wednesday after the prosecution told the court that they do not wish to proceed with the case against the former finance minister following his passing last week.
Judge Azura Alwi made the ruling under the Criminal Procedure Code and also expressed the court's condolences to Daim's family. The court then ordered the 280,000 ringgit bail against Daim to be revoked and the money returned. Earlier, Deputy Public Prosecutor Datuk Wan Shaharuddin Wan Ladin said that the prosecution has no intention of continuing the proceedings against Tun Daim and would leave it to the court's discretion. Daim died at the age of 86 on November 13th while receiving treatment at Asunta Hospital. He was accused of failing to declare his assets, including a bank account, 7 luxury vehicles, 38 companies and 25 properties at the MACC headquarters in Putrajaya on December 13th last year.
A construction worker will become the first person in Terengganu to be whipped in public for repeated offences of halwat or being in close proximity with a woman who is not his wife. The Terengganu Sharia High Court on Wednesday sentenced 42-year-old Muhammad Effendi Awang to 6 strokes of the rotan and a fine of 4,000 ringgit after he pleaded guilty to the charges read out against him.
Senior Judge Kamal Ruazmi Ismail ordered the whipping of the widower to be carried out at the Al-Muqtafi Billah Shah Mosque in Kuala Terengganu after Friday prayers on December 6. Effendi was accused of committing the offence with a 52-year-old woman at a house in Pengkalan Ranggong, Kemaman at 1:40 a.m. on June 16. He also faces 6 months jail if he fails to pay the fine. The sentence was imposed on Effendi as it was his 3rd offence after being convicted of the same offence in July last year and February this year. For the first 2 offences, he was sentenced to 4 strokes of the cane and a total of 5,700 ringgit.
Moving on, the 5 health ministry officials in Pulau Pinang who were reportedly involved in a cartel falsifying Social Security Organization SOCSO disability claims have resumed their duties. According to Health Minister Datuk Sri Dr. Zulkifli Ahmad, they have been transferred to other hospitals while awaiting the results of the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission MACC's investigation.
In a written parliamentary reply on Wednesday, Dr. Zulkifli said that the 5 officials were placed on a 30-day leave under the provisions of the Public Officers Conduct and Discipline Regulations effective from September 17th. He also assured that the orthopedic department continues to function as usual, providing specialist services to patients with support from officers from nearby hospitals. On September 3rd, the MACC remanded 36 suspects comprising of 5 orthopedic specialists, 19 claimants, 9 agents and 3 runners. The cartel is believed to be active from 2017 and was involved in making 2.1 million ringgit in false claims related to spinal injuries and interior cruciate ligament injuries. It was reported that the claimants who received the money took 50%, while the remaining 50% was split among the doctors, agents and runners.
Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim has highlighted that the rise in Malaysia's equity market capitalization this year, which has surpassed 2 trillion ringgit, is further evidence of Malaysia's economic recovery. The Prime Minister also commended both the Securities Commission and Bursa Malaysia for their continuous efforts to ensure that the capital markets thrive and remain attractive to investors.
In his speech read by Second Finance Minister Datuk Seri Amir Hamzah Azizan at the 63rd World Federation of Exchanges General Assembly and annual meeting on Wednesday, Anwar said that a robust regulatory framework that maintains a fair and orderly market with diverse fundraising and investment opportunities is central in sustaining investors' confidence in the country.
In constant evolution and pursuit of dynamic capital market, it is essential to recognize that capital market leaders play a crucial role in shaping the direction of business and society.
Anwar also emphasized that increasing retail investor involvement will make equities investment a more common source of wealth creation, in line with the Madani economy's vision of leveling the playing field for all sectors.
In the meantime, the ringgit continued to be well supported and upheld its upward momentum, gaining 0.12% against the US dollar at Wednesday's close on continued demand. According to economist Afzal Nizam Abdul Rashid, the ringgit's oversold condition may have incentivized traders to come in. However, market sentiments will stay guarded. At 6 p.m., the local currency appreciated to 4.468 against the greenback, compared with Tuesday's close of 4.47. The local unit also traded higher against regional currencies, rising to 7.58 against the Philippine peso and strengthened to 281.5 against the Indonesian rupiah. The ringgit was also higher against the Singapore dollar at 3.329 and gained against the Thai baht, reaching 12.867. The United States could impose nearly 40% tariffs on imports from China early next year, a poll of economists showed, potentially slicing growth in the world's second biggest economy by up to 1 percentage point. The poll also predicts that the president-elect will resist starting off with blanket 60% tariffs on Chinese goods. Not only are the threatened tariff rates much higher than the 7.5 to 25% levied on China during his first term, the economy is also in a much more vulnerable position given the prolonged property downturn, debt risks and weak domestic demand. However, more than 50 economists showed a strong majority both in and outside mainland China expecting Trump to impose the tariffs by early next year, with a median estimate of 38% and projections ranging from 15 to 60%. Zijia suffers another first-round exit. Actions from China Masters after this breather.
Orang Sarawak, standby. Kami orang mau ke Sarawak tu. Uji bakat Kalpis Soda 1 in a Million kembali lagi dan kali ini kami akan ke Kuching, Sarawak. Ayuh, jom kami hadirkan diri pada 23 dan 24 November ini dari jam 10 pagi hingga 10 malam. Layari media sosial Kalpis Soda OIAM TV3 untuk syarat penyertaan dan maklumat lanjut. Jangan lepaskan peluang 1 dalam sejuta Kalpis Soda 1 in a Million. Segar rasa, sodap suara.
Musim berganti, cabaran terus menanti.
Winter in America, the toughest of seasons.
Saksikan kisah survival paling epik America's Wild Seasons. Di Sungai Luangwa, pemangsa paling berbahaya bersaing untuk terus hidup. Africa's Hunters musim ketiga. Jangan lepaskan setiap Isnin, Rabu dan Khamis 5 petang di TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui tonton.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Kita suka sama suka, cahaya di mata, kasih sayang permata. Oh indahnya keluarga kau, jadinya suka sama suka. Apa kerenahnya, tetap akan bersama. Berdua suka-suka selamanya. Suka sama suka, semakin suka. Suka sama suka.
Kalau setakat dapat 2.5, janganlah gatal-gatal apply course law.
Kita tunggu je lah result keluar nanti kan.
Gadis dan Angan-Angan, episod akhir Khamis 9 malam di Lestari TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui tonton.
We're back with sports. Badminton, the 2024 China Masters. National men's singles Shashala Zijia crashed out in the first round on Wednesday after going down to India's Lakshya Sen in 3 games.
Losing the first set 14-21, the world number 7 clawed his way back into the game to take the second set 21-13. But world number 17 Lakshya battled relentlessly to take the last set 21-13 after 57 minutes on court. The defeat slightly jeopardized the chances of the Olympic bronze medalist, who is currently ranked 6th in the final 8 of the World Tour Finals, which will take place in Hangzhou, China next month. Meanwhile, top national women's doubles pair Buletin and Tina shook off their disappointment at the Kumamoto Masters last week by storming into the second round. The world number 6 duo made light of China's new pairing, Ding Ke-yun-Wang Yi duo, recording a 21-16, 21-14 victory in just 39 minutes. Buletin will face either Japan's Arisa Igarashi, Ayako Sakuramoto, or Taiwan's Su Yinghui Lin Jingyung in the second round. Joining them were national mixed doubles pair Ho Fan Rong, Chen Su-yin, who advanced to the second round after defeating Taiwan's Liu Guangheng, Zheng Yuche 21-17, 21-12. Awaiting them in the second round are China's Zhang Zhenbeng, Wei Yaxing. Another mixed doubles pair, Wong Tenshi, Lim Chu-sen, followed in the footsteps after defeating Kosila Mameri, Tanina Violet Mameri 21-15, 21-13, and are scheduled to meet Hong Kong's Tan Chun Man, Se Ying Sweat next.
And on to squash, the 2024 Singapore Open. Newly crowned Malaysia Cup champion Ian Yao Ng stormed into the quarterfinals after dismantling India's Valiant Senthil Kumar in straight games on Wednesday.
The world number 14, who received a bye in the first round, breezed past world number 49 Senthil Kumar 11-4, 11-1, 11-5 in just 34 minutes. The Asian champion will now face 4th seed Victor Kruin of France on Friday for a place in the semi-finals. However, Nationals women's squash player Ira Azman was defeated by 3rd seed Egyptian Hania El Hamami in the women's category. The world number 31 lost in straight sets 10-12, 2-11, 5-11, eliminating her in the second round. Her sister, Aifa Azman, will be facing national compatriot Siva Sanggari on Thursday for place in the quarterfinals.
On to football, the Malaysia Cup, a hat-trick from Alberti Fernandez powered defending champions Johor Darul Takzim JDTFC to a 3-0 victory over Kuala Lumpur Rovers FC in the first leg of the round of 16 match on Wednesday.
JDT, playing as the visiting team against the Liga A1 semi-pro side, wasted no time in securing their first goal through a free kick by Herbity in the 26th minute. The Brazilian import striker struck again 3 minutes later with an aerobatic shot, converting a cross from Corbing Ong. Herbity then completed his hat-trick in the second half with a long-range effort 20 minutes from time, sealing the dominant 3-0 win for the Southern Tigers. Hector Bidoglio's squad now holds a comfortable advantage ahead of the return leg scheduled for November 30th at the same venue.
And still on football, the 2026 World Cup AFC qualifiers, Koki Ogawa scored a header in each half as Japan handed China a 3-1 defeat in their Group C clash on Tuesday, moving the Samurai Blue to the brink of their 8th consecutive appearance in the major event.
Ogawa put Hajime Moriyasu's side in front with a 39th minute header, courtesy of a cross from Takefusa Kubo. Ko Itakura doubled the visitors' lead from close range just before the interval, but Ling Liang Ming pulled one back for China 3 minutes into the second half. The Samurai Blue then snuffed out China's hopes of a comeback when Ogawa headed in his second goal in the 54th minute, sealing the dominant 3-1 victory for Japan. The win saw the Japanese extend their unbeaten run, qualifying for the 2026 FIFA World Cup in 12 matches, and sit on 16 points from 6 games in the current phase of qualifiers, while the Team Dragon remain at the bottom of the group with 6 points.
No relief in sight for New Delhi residents as toxic smog persists. The details when Nightline returns.
Tak nak menang hadiah bernilai RM1 juta ke? Kalau nak, datanglah uji bakat Kopi Soda 1 in a Million. Hujung minggu ni di Kuantan City Mall Kuantan dari jam 10 pagi hingga 10 malam. Nak datang seorang boleh, dua boleh, bawa satu keluarga lagi on. Apa tu lagi? Jangan lepaskan peluang 1 dalam sejuta ini untuk memenangi hadiah bernilai RM1 juta. Kopi Soda 1 in a Million, segar rasa, sedap suara.
Sayang, nampak jam saya tak?
Alah, awak yang tak kemas betul-betul. Semaklah, serabut tau.
Hidup ini keras. Kita patut bertolak ansur dengan pasangan kita.
Kita kena ambil berat, ambil peduli dan saling berkongsi kesenangan dan kepayahan kerana ia adalah penghubung kasih sayang.
A woman's spirit is boundless. So grab your coffee cups and wear your sassiest smile. Because this season, we're louder than ever. We talk career, health, finance, relationships, and everything in between. Women's Talk is here to empower and inspire you. Join us on Women's Talk every Saturday, 5 p.m. only on TV3 and stream now on Thursday.
Kenapa?
So, それのせいで別れたの？なんで俺に言ってくれなかったの？
寺君に会うことを港に話してたし。
Silent setiap Sabtu dan Ahad 7 malam di Yoshi TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
Onto the foreign front. One of Hong Kong's most influential pro-democracy figures, Jimmy Lai, has taken to the stand in a national security trial on Wednesday that may see him sentenced to life in jail. The 76-year-old founder of the now defunct Hong Kong tabloid Apple Daily has been accused of colluding with foreign forces. However, Lai told the court that he had never used his foreign contacts, which include ex-US VP Mike Pence and former Taiwan President Tsai Ing-wen, to influence foreign policy on Hong Kong. This is his first time testifying in court, even though he has undergone multiple trials since 2020, which have been criticized as being politically motivated amid Beijing's tightening grip over the city. His hearing comes one day after the sentencing of 45 pro-democracy campaigners in the city's largest trial under the controversial national security law. Residents in the Indian capital New Delhi continued to choke on toxic smog with no relief in sight as the city's air quality remained in the hazardous band on Wednesday.
अरे सर इतने परेशान है ये आंखों में जाने किसी ने मिर्च डाल दी ऐसे करके मिर्च लगती है आंखों में आगे मिचती है पानी चलता है आंखों में से सांस लेने में बहुत दिक्कत है दम घुट रहा है.
With the air quality index AQI hitting a hazardous 500 in multiple areas, residents of the capital are inhaling pollution levels equivalent to smoking 22 cigarettes daily. The New Delhi government has sought the centre's approval for artificial rains, but no response has been received. Experts, however, remain skeptical about solutions like cloud seeding, citing its limitations and potential to worsen pollution. Meanwhile, schools have gone online, heavy vehicles face restrictions, and odd-even traffic rules are being considered. With no immediate relief in sight, Delhi and other North Indian cities brace for more days of suffocating smog, leaving citizens to endure the worsening crisis. Moving on, Zionist forces killed at least 15 Palestinians in the Gaza Strip on Wednesday as tanks deepened their incursion in the area and blew up homes.
Medics said at least 12 people were killed in a Zionist strike on a house in the area of Jabalia in northern Gaza. They said at least 10 people remained missing as rescue operations continued, adding that another man was killed in tank shelling nearby. Meanwhile, in the Sabra suburb of Gaza City, the Palestinian Civil Emergency said a Zionist airstrike targeted one of their teams during a rescue operation, killing one staff and wounding 3 others. The death raised the number of Civil Emergency Service members killed to 87. There was no immediate Israeli comment on the 2 incidents. Elsewhere, residents in Jabalia, Beit Lahia and Beit Hanun said forces blew up dozens of houses in the 3 areas, adding to fears that Israel was seeking to clear residents to create a buffer zone. Meanwhile, the UN Security Council is expected to vote on Wednesday on another draft resolution calling for a ceasefire in Gaza in its latest attempt to exert pressure to end the war. However, the draft could be blocked by Israel's main ally, the United States. The latest draft of the resolution demands an immediate, unconditional and permanent ceasefire in the war between Israel and Hamas and the immediate and unconditional release of all hostages. The wording has angered Israel and raised fears of a U.S. veto. Israeli ambassador to the UN called the text shameful, adding that they will not stop the fighting.
And lastly, more than 24 suspected gang members were killed in Haiti's capital after residents joined police to fight off an attempted overnight attack on an affluent hillside suburb of Port-au-Prince. The suburb of Pétionville was closed off on Tuesday as residents barricaded streets and asked those not from the area to stay home as they mobilized, some with machetes and hammers in hand, to protect the district from another gang invasion. It was reported that at least 25 bodies were seen across multiple neighborhoods where residents set suspected criminals' bodies on fire under burning tires. A National Police deputy spokesperson said some 30 people he described as gang members had been fatally wounded throughout the day. The Security Council is now set to meet on Wednesday afternoon to discuss the escalating violence. Concludes Nightline this time around. We leave you with visuals of the vibrant atmosphere during the Camel Culture Festival in Inner Mongolia. With that, I'm Muhammed. I'm Hamdan. Thanks for watching and stay safe.